That was there for a reason. Okay, life has been kind to me. Oh, kind to me. The cap's returned. Now, if you can see, my hair is out of control. I don't know why this is relevant to the reaction, but I thought I would let you know why I'm currently rocking some kind of Justin Bieber-esque, I don't know what to call it. It's a mess. But if I take this off, it's even worse, and I have to rock it. So, rock it with me. Please, I can't do this alone. Anyway, that's all beside the point, guys. We're back, nonetheless. Episode 4 of The Walking Dead, guys, season 4. We are not quite halfway through the season. I'm actually not sure how many episodes are in the season. If it's more than 12, if it's like 20 something, then we're not even close. The point is we've got a lot going on. We've sort of got this whole illness situation, the desire to go and seek out antibiotics and medications and ways to treat people for very normal, everyday kinds of diseases. We're in the position now where this is the normality. This is what we have to focus on, and this is what we have to put all our attention to. We don't have time for other things, which I will get to eventually. And we've obviously had a hiccup. There's a massive horde outside the vets. We've now got no vehicle. There's probably a group inside, which is something I theorize, hence why the walkers are orienting towards this place. But yeah, that's where we're at. Anyway, beyond all that, guys, thank you all so much for tuning in again. I've been trying to reply to as many comments as possible, and I see them all. I really do. The moderators have been fantastic and straight back into it. I just want to say a massive thank you to them. And yeah, thank you everyone that's commenting and that's been waiting around, and thank you everyone that's here today. But yeah, let's get straight into it. Rick and Rictator, like a split, like Governor and Philip. It's official, that's sticking. I wanted to think of something else, something more original from my part, but you guys all beat me to it.
I wanted to see you because I'm going on a run with Rick.
I think a lot of people are going to die. It's what always happens. At least they get to come back.
Lizzie, when they come back, they aren't...
I theorized a few people were dangling the rats around, you know, to like... I thought it was to lure the walkers. There was another little theory which I don't... Did I even include that in the reaction? I think I did. I'm pretty sure I did. But it was about this little girl. Now, there was all this stuff about how she thinks walkers are alive. Now, my theory was that she was feeding the walkers. Not because someone was luring them. But it was an incidental... like, the breaking through and the damage it caused and the consequence of it was all incidental. And it was because somebody was trying to feed walkers.
We all change. We all don't get to stay the same way we started.
Dude, Carol, man, like I said, Rick's gonna have so much indifference about what to do and how to give consequences for this, because how does he do that?
What I told you to do when there's danger? You can't be afraid to kill. Understand?
Yes.
I'm kind of glad that her and Rick are going together alone, because they can at least talk about this, why she did it, the consequence of it, and maybe they can come to terms with how they deal with it. If it was a situation where Rick had to make an on-the-spot decision who to punish and whether to punish or not, then I feel like it would have been much worse. Because it does become to like an inner circle, like an original group, and then there's like a bigger circle, which is like the outer group, the new group, and the inner circle is always going to be subconscious priority. That's what I'm trying to describe it as.
Be able to get to it quickly.
Funny thing is I do see Carol as a person who has to make a lot of tough decisions now.
We all change.
She's come a long way since kind of disagreeing with the idea of making a decision about someone's life, you know, way back with Dale. Rick's gonna have to do something because he has to set precedent. If he wants to run this group and lead this group, they have to see him as a leader, otherwise they will not follow, you know, and it will... Oh, my days.
Ty! Come on, let's go. Yo! Ty!
Ty? Ty?
Come on, let's go.
See, I can't tell with the accent, man. Ty. Drill it in.
Be a town a few miles south. Lost the whole night.
Oh, so it hasn't been that long. It's only been the night. Okay, no pausing. We'll try not to. Oh, gosh.
They were suffering. We made it quick.
She made a decision which she didn't deliberate on, but it could have...
We needed the body's gone. We needed to stop it from spreading. They were the only ones who were sick.
That's why... no pausing. That's what I don't quite understand. Like, a lot of people are straight into this I've seen some comments being like, nah, I don't agree with Carol, nah, what she did was wrong. To be honest with you, right, I agree that she should have deliberated, but when last reaction I sort of spoke about Shane's decisions and how I instantaneously disagree with what he did because it was just unnecessary immediately. Like, he could have spoken about it. There was no immediate threat to life, not in that exact moment at least. With Carol's situation, they're sort of saying that they were locked up and this, that, the other, but I still feel like there were other sick people in those wards. Like, it's not like they were completely isolated like that. I felt like she felt that they didn't have time to do something about it. They could have isolated them though, but I guess she doesn't know how it spreads, she doesn't know how contagious it is, how quickly it spreads, how deadly it is, so she made a decision to avoid that. But we still don't know the answers to those questions. What happens if we find out that it wasn't as contagious as we thought? What happens if we find out that there was a cure, that they could have survived? That is then all on Carol for making that decision.
I was trying to save lives. I had to try. Somebody had to.
The problem is that she's coming from an inner circle. Yeah, I don't know. Thing is maybe good enough. We don't know because we aren't in that situation. Pardon our dust. Okay. Gee, are we gonna get some new characters?
Anything that could help Herschel. We get in, we get out.
Come on,
If we can eat it, we take it.
See, that's the thing. I will continue to be conflicted by him. You watch. See, for a second I thought Daryl was just some random person just sitting in there. Oh! Bro, that gave me the tiniest little fright, man.
It's a clear path.
Oh gosh. That was there for a reason. For God's sakes. Come on, Michelle. Tyrese, that's his name. Ty. Oh, really? You have to shoot? I'm so against the idea of gunshots now, you know, because of like the sound thing.
Why the hell didn't you let go?
Yeah, why? His character's starting to confuse me because it's like he doesn't want to survive, right? I think that's what they're trying to play at. But he's got a reason to want to, and until he knows that his sister is definitively dead, why would he not keep pushing? I really am just confused. I like him though. That's the thing, I like this guy. A lot has changed. Like, when we saw him when he first arrived at the prison and like he was like a leader and he was kind and caring and he was willing to be open-minded. That's the him that I miss. That's the him that I don't think we've seen since then. Obviously, since then, he's had all sorts go wrong for him, and he's on a downward spiral. Can someone catch him? Bro, they're not going to find enough, eh? They're going to, like, have a shortage of it, and they're going to have to choose who it goes to, and they're going to pick in a circle. People will be like, no, you should be saving this person. No, you should be saving that person. Nah, Bolt, we're saving this person. Yeah, G, we're saving that person. G, what are you doing? Listen, you get the point. I feel like I recognise that walker, but then again, I feel like every walker just looks diseased and gross. Hello.
It's cool. We're cool.
I recognise that actor.
We have fruit.
What's he off?
We were looking for a place to crash. The roof's broken out and it's been getting rain, so it's full of fruit.
You lay on your back.
I don't think Rick... Yeah, look at his face, man. He's keeping his distance. He's not sure. I mean, after everything he's been through. Oh, imagine that.
Well, how long were you up there till we showed up?
Like 2 days.
It was just one. You had guns.
We have about 12 bullets. It usually takes us about 5.
These people are too happy for some reason. What the hell? This feels like some kind of act. Like, it's kind of creeping me out. Like, they just seem like too happy. Would not be surprised if they tried to wreck our car, 100%.
Where are you two headed next?
We just keep moving. We haven't been waiting for places to go bad. Oh, it's getting a little old.
How many have you killed?
Oh, here come the questions. Whoa. I'm not even... Are those questions even sufficient? I'm not completely sure, by the way. Am I, like, overly judging that? Or am I just a depressed soul or something? Because Where my dog barking? What the heck? Just because these people may be genuine, I'm not sure that even suffices me trusting them, because they very well, if they are from another bigger group, they could have anyone in their group. They could have the governor in their bloody group for all I know.
But anger makes you stupid.
Exactly. And it's not going to help anyone, not your sister or all.
Aren't you still angry about the governor? What he did?
If he was here right now, I'd cut him in two. Because that's how it needs to be. But I'm not angry.
The one you're still going out looking for him.
She is still angry, of course she is. Who isn't?
We're in a prison 8 miles north. If you come back with us, we can't guarantee your safety.
Oh, wow.
There's an illness, a flu. It's bad.
I'm sorry. She's strong. She'll make it.
Cuz.
For now, sit tight. The two of us will circle back for you before dark.
Well, you could help us sweep the rest of this neighborhood.
We can do that. I can check
Dude,
the greenhouse,
Carol,
see if it's
Rick's
clear.
trying
bring back
to-
more fruit.
Man, I can hit some of the houses.
Please. We want to help.
Why do I feel like this is going to show a huge difference between Rick and Rictator?
Let's meet back here in 2 hours. You'll need this.
The run to the big spot, I did it for me.
You gotta keep busy.
No. I did it so I could get me a bottle. And that's what got Zach killed.
That's bullshit. Just get in there and try the engine. It's a red and a green wire.
Come on, Daryl.
Ain't rocket science.
Gee, you don't care about what's happened in the past. Come on. I hope I'm not going to regret feeling like this. Jesus. Shown.
Did you think it was right?
Rick,
One person's perspective is never going to be always the right
I
perspective.
killed 2 people and you haven't said a word about it.
What do you want me to say?
It's not about what you say. It's about facing reality. You can be a farmer, Rick. You can't just be a farmer. You were a good leader. Better than I probably gave you credit for.
Exactly, Carol. Come on.
I never murdered 2 of our own.
Just one.
He was gonna kill me.
So were they. They were gonna kill all of us.
Is that quite the same though, Carol? Like, I'm sorry, but I'm not sure I quite understand her logic there. Like, I think Carol could have deliberated with people. That's the difference. Rick didn't have a chance in that situation. There was nobody else there. I don't know. We'll talk about that
You
after.
don't know that.
You see? Exactly. I should have just kept playing for 2 seconds.
If you thought it would save Judith or Carl, would you have done it then, or would you have just gone back to your crops and hoped it'd all be okay?
Whoa.
You don't have to like what I did, Rick. I don't.
And now I see why this episode's called Indifference. Bloody hell. Oh gosh, what's he just grabbed?
Hold on. Put his
Gee.
shoulder back before.
What am I watching right now? That wasn't her leg, was it?
Sam's probably waiting.
Wait, what am I... What the... What... I don't know what I've just witnessed.
All right, let's roll.
Wait, do they get everything they need? Yeah! Holy shit, do they even need to go to the vets at all? Well, by the way, can we just say, that's not over, unless that's where they are right now. They're not in the vets right now, are they? How the hell did they get in there if they are? Damn, maybe we need to move to the vets. Oh, jokes, never mind. Whoa. Dude, Michonne's conversation obviously works. Oh wow, doesn't that remind you of season 1?
They're infected. Same as at the prison. We fire at them, get their blood on us, breathe it in. We didn't come all this way to get sick.
How do we know the ones in there are any different?
Is that really... Wait, so... The animals died as well. Like the pig was sick. And if someone was testing on animals... No, jokes. I keep jumping to these silly conclusions, like someone's concocted some magical spell which has spread the plague, but I don't think it's quite that... Yeah. So they're breaking through to another set of walkers. Yeah, for God's sake, be careful with the blood, man. I'm trying to find a common denominator of the people that are sick and how they're sick and why they're sick. And obviously my things about the animals, because Rick said something about the animals, but it could be water supply, it could just be... It could be anything.
Too long. Still don't have an exit.
We make one.
Come on, break it. Oh, don't tell me you're dropping everything we just... Oh, that's going to have alcohol in it anyway. You watch. You watch. You see? Watch this. Alcohol. Risking their lives for what? I can't be... Oh, I feel bad for him because obviously he's got an addiction problem.
In the bag.
Come on,
kept
man.
walking that day.
Don't.
Wow. Excuse me? Whoa.
Just let it go, Daryl.
Come on, I feel a little bit bad for
Man's
him.
made his choice.
Come on.
Nothing you can do about it.
It's weird because
I didn't want to hurt nobody.
I feel bad for the guy.
It was just for when it gets quiet.
Take one sip. For those meds getting our people. I will beat your ass into the ground.
Oh. Alcohol addiction is a legitimate thing that people struggle with. And it's not easy just to drop it. You know, it's not an easy thing just to be like, oh yeah, no, I won't drink it. I'll get rid of it. I won't grab it if I see it. You know, it's not that simple. And if someone's not being treated or helped through something like that, they're not just going to stop feeling that way because the apocalypse hits, you know. I'm just glad that it's Daryl there making, you know, if potentially someone else is in that situation. Just imagine what Shane would have done in that scenario. What would Shane have done? You can see Daryl is thinking about him, but then he's just worried about his people and he feels let down by this guy. That's what it feels like to me. I feel let down by him. And weirdly, that scene alone gives me hope for this guy.
Karen and David, they might have lived, and now they're dead. When Tyrese finds out, he'll kill you.
I can handle Tyrese.
When the others find out, they won't want you there. If everybody dies of this thing and it's just the two of us,
Don't say something stupid.
I won't have you there.
Rick, it's me. I thought you were done making decisions for everyone.
I'm making this decision for me.
That's not straightforward either. It's just not. One thing this show has taught me is no decision is straightforward. There's always a side. There's always a reason to believe one way is better than the other. And there's always a reason why people differentiate on those opinions. Then Rick just... This is exactly what I was talking about. He has to make a decision. One for precedent, for himself, and as a leader. Either way, it's not going to go... Oh my...
I did something. I stepped up. I had to do something.
No, you did.
It's weird because I agree with Rick, but like I also feel like Rick's being too blunt about
I
it.
think I'm going anywhere without Lizzie and Mika.
You want them to leave? Lizzie's sick.
Wait, is he planning on,
Mika
is he planning on
10
kicking
years
her out?
old.
Please, you can't.
We'll keep him safe.
What?
You're not that woman who was too scared to be alone. Not anymore. You're gonna start over, find others, people who don't know.
Oh my
You're gonna
god.
survive out here.
That's the solution?
Maybe.
Rick!
That's where I was traveling the highway.
Bro, Daryl is going to lose it with you. Like I said, this is not... That is not how I agree. I don't agree with how that went. No way in hell. Rick's made decisions that have killed people. He's not been banished. She made a decision based on what she thought was right, which many of us have done. Who's to say that she doesn't belong with the family anymore? Maybe I'm too hot-headed and angry right now, but he...
You're right, what you said before. I don't need to go out anymore.
I can't even watch this right now. Like, the show... How do you expect me to watch this next scene? You know how mad Daryl's gonna be? There are other ways to deal with stuff like that.
Take it.
Surely she just goes and... I mean, I have every faith that she will survive, but... And what, Rick, you're just going to be honest about that? The problem with my side of this right now is I don't have a solution. Like, I don't have a way to deal with it that isn't sending her away, like Rick's just done. What, do we just lock her up and imprison her? You know, like, do you see where I'm coming from? Like, how can we build consequence like that? Because people can't just go out willy-nilly and make decisions. We've had this precedent a long time ago. Hold on. Merle killed how many people? Because he thought it was the right thing to do, but because it benefited us, we brought him back. You think most of our group's going to be okay with this? And not just that, but the asset we've lost. Do I agree with this man? Yeah, what? Do you see Laurie? Do you see Laurie right now? No. Alright, damn man, that episode made me mad. Like, I've every faith we will see her again. She will be shaped by this in a very positive way. Not that I'm saying that I'm happy with what's just happened. I have a weird feeling the next time we see Carol, it will be amazing. I don't know why I'm thinking this. It's like a temporary departure. She hasn't died. She's gone off. She's going to find another group. And she will be there eventually. And we will need each other. But yeah, anyway. There's a lot that happened in this reaction. Ultimately, there's only one thing that I need to talk about. There's only one thing that I want to talk about because it's going to take me a while. And that's the decision Rick has made. Bear in mind, without deliberation of a council, if you think about the decisions that we've just had, right? So Carol's gone, she's killed 2 people that were very sick, that were very likely to die. We'd seen someone die. She's eventually disclosed it to Rick, and because of that, that leads to Rick's decision. Now, whether I agree with Carol or not is irrelevant at this point in time, because like I said, I don't agree with the ultimate decision she made. There are other things you could have done in the scenario. I think it's a lot more blurry of a decision than when Shane made those decisions because of the circumstance we're in, but ultimately I think we could have done things better. We could have quarantined them. There could have been a way that we could have done that. We spoke about having a place off site that we did that. We could have done something like that. Obviously we were time restricted, which is one of the factors and confounds that makes it blurry, but there were other ways of dealing with that, and we didn't know how any of those ways would have panned out. But ultimately I'm leaning more towards disagreeing, but a lot more to the centre is with Shane. But anyway, like I said, that is beside the point. What we have now is a decision that Rick has. Now Rick's decision, he makes himself. There's no one else making that decision, which is exactly what Carol did. Rick is making a decision to banish someone that he hasn't deliberated about. She's in a circle. He's made a decision which will make a lot of people unhappy. He's made a decision which will probably make a lot of people dislike him. Banishing Carol without talking to anyone. Wrong. She could have gone back with him and they could have had this discussion with the council. It didn't have to be an immediate tell Tyrell and let it pan out like that. It didn't have to be like that. Tyrell doesn't need to know in the immediate. The crazy thing is I think he took her out knowing that he wouldn't bring her back. And that's even more wrong. Not even giving her a chance to say goodbye. Like there's no part of that which I'm okay with. If you bring her back, lock her up, protect her, tell Tyrell, figure out what the wider group decides, based on what we know about the infection and what we know about the decision she made in the moment, and properly deliberate it. Think about it morally, like I'm doing right now, and talk as a group. That's when you make your decision. Maybe Rick was just fearful of how that would pan out, but that's all beside the point to me. It's all beside the point. Ultimately, the good thing to do and the right thing to do in that situation is not just to banish her without deliberating. That's the problem. That's the Rictator that I don't like. This is going to do my head in for a long time, and I feel like I'm just going to talk about it in circles and circles and circles, and it has properly frustrated me. It's like, why can't we just sit down and talk about it? Obviously, there's a lot going on at the moment, but there are ways we can delay these conversations without banishing her. And for all Rick knows, she could have been banished to death. She had nowhere to go. She was with no one. So it's like, what's the morally right decision? For all Rick knows, he could have killed Carol just then. It's just mad to me that Rick's made that decision. I think he's made that decision in a state when he shouldn't be making that decision. It's so complicated because I disagree with Carol, but I disagree with Rick. But then what does that mean I propose? Like, I can't even tell you that. So am I in a situation like Carol? Actually, you know what? That's a fantastic parallel. Way back when Dale died, and there was the deliberation before he died, and she was sort of saying that you can't make us be a part of that. That's kind of how I feel right now, like trying to think of an alternate decision. Morally, it's damaging to me. It's hard. It's either way, I can't see positives. It's just, yeah, man. Oh my gosh. I think people will be intrigued to know how my thoughts on this change over time. But this is definitely one of those situations where like a moral compass is like unable to work, because morally both ways have moral rights and both ways have moral wrongs. If you think of like a compass spinning round, that's the sort of image that I'm picturing at this point in time. You know, like which way should I go? And there's not enough time really to, yeah. And that's why we make gambles, because we don't know. Jeez Louise. But yeah, I think I should probably stop talking. This has been a long reaction and it has got my head going. If I feel like I need to talk before the next reaction, I will do so, guys. If you enjoyed, as ever, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel for new content every single week. And of course, follow the Instagram to read with 2 Ds. And let me know down below what you thought of the episode, the reaction, and I'll get to those as soon as physically and humanly possible, guys. But yeah, that's all from me, guys. And I'll catch you in the next one.